Greetings, dear friends. Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are starting our week ahead, saying goodbye to the month of March and checking in, our usual Monday check-in to have our Mastering Your Mindset session. I trust that you're finding your way through these transformative energies that we've been in. So here we are saying goodbye to the first quarter of 2025 and getting ready, starting tomorrow, stepping into the second quarter. Now, with these sessions, I like to feel into the phases of the moon because that helps us really get tapped into our inner landscape. So this pivot, there's a pivot happening for us. Last week we were deeply affected by the new moon and the partial solar eclipse. How did that feel for you? Are you starting to find new ways, more aligned ways to show up for yourself, with yourself, in alignment? And when we have the new moon, that's the time to start planting seeds. And is there a newness? Is there a way that you're starting to feel in alignment with that which you wish to be, to share? Are you accessing your inner wisdom, your talents? It's all there. That's what these times are all about, is really helping us to really recalibrate. I think it is about recalibrating to really listening, and I'm putting listening with quotation marks. The reason I'm saying that is that the moon phase that we're going to be affected by, or that we're stepping into, it's coming in at the end of this week, and that's the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Cancer. So with this being in the sign of Cancer, it kind of double underlines it. I always think that when the moon phases are in that sign, it's almost like they've come home. Some people say that they've come home. The reason being that the ruler of Cancer is the moon. And so, and actually it's my moon sign too. So I think that's a really important part to really use the question that I've shared with you before. I really encourage you to use this question: how do I feel about myself here? And that actually helps you strengthen the muscle and get more in touch with your feelings. Cancer's all about feelings and intuition and the deep feelings. So when we ask ourselves that question, how do I feel about myself here? We want to be looking for things like, I feel aligned, I feel in touch with my own talent, I feel connected with my head, heart, and higher self. The other part of this first quarter phase, this is the time where we start taking steps forward, moving forward on those intentions, on those new ideas. And like I said, this is like stepping into a new up-leveled, we're doing this spiral upwards. And so maybe those intentions or those seeds that you planted last week are really big, really auspicious. And maybe now it's time to start really assessing your emotional landscape. But also, like for instance, if you feel that maybe somebody's saying something to you and yet you feel like there's something not quite right there, or it feels a wee bit off, trust the feeling rather than the words or the way it's showing up or the mask that's been presented to you. So if anything that I've said here discombobulates you or confuses you, just let me know, put it in the comments below or message me directly. The key piece, and this is my life's work, is all about helping you get in touch with your intuition and then use that as the navigation force, as the GPS for you, as the guidance system that's for you. We all have it. We're all intuitive by design, by nature. Unfortunately, we're not really conditioned to really allow ourselves to find that flow, that best way. How do you receive your intuitive insights? How do you receive the guidance through your head, heart, and higher self? All too often in the Western world in particular, we're too we're too guided or we're too influenced into just being with the head. That's not the best way. So head, heart, and higher self, igniting your triality, igniting your trinity. So maybe that's kind of the flavor as we walk into this first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Cancer. So now we're going to start pulling some cards to see what kind of energies can help us navigate these times. So just take a nice deep breath. The first deck of cards that we use is my Letting Go guidance system. Because, you know, this whole idea, and I always do that, that's upward spiral. We're all on this upward spiral. We're becoming more and more aligned with the truth of who we are. And so as we do that, there's things that we pick up and things that we put down. There's things that serve us at a time, or a chapter, or a phase, or a paradigm, and then we put them down. And we say thank you and let them go. So that's why I like for us to start with what can we focus on letting go, releasing, in order to really stay on track. Be that authentic, powerful creator being. Oh, watch this one. The one that's come up for us is the story that you're telling or that you're listening to. So, you know how I just said that if you're in a situation where somebody's saying something to you, or maybe even you are saying something or telling yourself a story, and yet it doesn't feel authentic. There's something missing. You're feeling, that's what there's such a strong influence is your feelings. And maybe you don't have to explain it. You just have to say it just feels off, feels fishy, feels weird, doesn't feel in alignment. Let it go. There's no reason to get all logical and try and figure it out, because that's what we're being guided to, is that you want to allow your emotional, your intuitive nature to guide it. And then above all, and this is such a huge theme that I've been talking with so many people, it's about trust. So trusting that, you know how you might get an intuitive hit and then your logical brain steps in and says, how do you know that? And how are you going to explain that to somebody else? That has to be just, thank you, go sit in the corner. I do that to myself all the time. Tell my thinking mind to, I'll say thank you and release it, because that's so important to honor and acknowledge and trust. You're feeling something, that's your guidance system. So I trust that makes sense. We're going to focus on letting go of that story, whether it's somebody's telling you it or you're telling it. Take a nice deep breath. And I was just shuffling my tarot cards. I like to pull one tarot card to kind of help us. Oh, look at this. This is perfect too. I love how the cards are all aligned. They always do line up beautifully. So it's the Knight of Swords. So knights, in the tarot system, knights are about moving forward, taking action. And that's what we're in. We're in that first quarter phase of the moon. That's time to start taking action. So how do I feel about myself here? So how do I feel about myself when I'm doing this activity or when I'm going that direction? And you can see too with that Knight of Swords, it's very much, yes, I'll take the one thought and I'll allow it to guide me. I'm not going to get all caught up in inner chatter or the blah, blah, blah that the inner critic might do. It's like, no, I'm in motion and I'm flowing forward based on what lights your heart up. So that really feels like a really powerful influence for us here too, is that Trinity, that two fingers, the Trinity. So listen to what your head has to say, but then feel into your heart and allow the inner wisdom or the wisdom of your higher self. And see, the wisdom of your higher self doesn't chatter a lot. So if you've got something going that's saying, oh, but what about this and what about this and what about this and what about, that's not coming from your higher self. Your higher self, the insights that come from your higher self, aka your intuitive guidance, it's always going to be love-based. It's always going to feel like a yes at your heart level. Your head might be going, oh my God, but what about this and what about this? but your heart's going, woohoo, let's go. This feels so yummy. This feels so delicious. And that's the key piece, that's what we want to be calibrating towards. So may this week serve you in that way, and may this stepping into the second quarter of 2025. You remember, if you watched these before, 2025 universally from a numerology point of view is a 9. It's all about letting go. So you're not carrying forward those paradigms or those beliefs even, or stories that do not align with who you're becoming. So following that, take another nice deep breath. I'm just shuffling my Intuitive Whispers Oracle deck here and see which ones come up for this. Oh, well, I always chuckle about these too, right? Let go of control. There's a very powerful surrender. Let go of control. So that may be your head telling you, oh, you can't just feel. Sometimes we can have a little conflict in ourselves. If you feel something not quite right here, but then, oh, I have to control it, or my head's telling me I need to push through. Let go of control. Surrender. Surrender to the divine flow that's coming through you. And see if you can step into the magic of nothingness and surrender. So that's the allowing yourself to really recognize how powerful you are. How powerful you are when you simply take some time to just sit, contemplate, breathe, be, before you do anything, or before you take steps in the direction of your big auspicious goals. And the last one, I love this one too. It's time to shine. It's your time to shine. And what does that feel like to you? And how does your heart resonate with that? It's time for you to show the collective, to be the gift that you intended at a soul level to be and to share. That's our responsibility. Each one of us has a responsibility to the whole. Are you aligning with it? Are you leading with it? Are you following it? Are you allowing yourself time to access it and speak from that space? Lots of pieces here. So like I said, if you need any support or more resources on any of this, just let me know. But we're going to just wrap up our session. I was just shuffling my Liberate Your Inner Truth cards, because that's how we end these sessions. So just take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. And the card that's come up for us today is actually card number 22. This is the master number, but it's I am content. Maybe that's the feeling that how do I feel about myself? Can you get yourself to a place of feeling content? But let me just read this out to you. Being content involves appreciating what I have and where I am in life, rather than wishing things were different. Contentment celebrates the good in my life while at the same time working through any obstacles. I love the vibe of that. That really does beautifully sum up what this energy is that we are stepping into. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you need any support, or I've triggered something that you need some guidance or support, just let me know. I wish you a lovely week, and I'll be back again with you next week. Much love to you.